Have you ever wondered if you or a loved one could be at risk for a mini-stroke? It's easy to overlook the subtle signs, especially as we age. But what if catching those signs early could save your life? Mini-strokes, or TIAs, transient ischemic attacks, affect thousands of older adults every year, and they often go unnoticed until it's too late. What if recognizing just one symptom could be the key to preventing a major stroke or worse? In this video, we'll walk you through the 8 critical signs of a mini-stroke that every elderly person should be aware of. These symptoms are often subtle but can have devastating consequences if ignored. By the end of this video, you'll know how to recognize the warning signs in yourself or your loved ones, giving you the power to act quickly when it matters most. Understanding these symptoms isn't just important, it's life-saving. Early intervention can dramatically reduce the chances of a severe stroke, and will give you all the tools you need to protect your health. Stay tuned as we dive into each warning sign, the causes behind them, and expert advice on what to do when you notice them. Don't wait for a crisis. Watch until the end to ensure you're equipped to take control of your health and potentially prevent the worst. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. What is a mini-stroke, TIA? A mini-stroke, or transient ischemic attack, TIA, is a medical event that happens when the blood flow to a specific part of your brain is temporarily interrupted. To truly understand its significance, imagine your brain as a sprawling, vibrant city. One that depends entirely on its network of highways and streets, represented by blood vessels, to deliver the vital supplies of oxygen and nutrients needed for every function. When a TIA occurs, it's as if one of those critical highways suddenly shuts down, even if only for a brief moment, leaving parts of the city in chaos. The brain, just like the city, cannot function properly without the continuous flow of its life-sustaining resources. During a TIA, this blockage may last for just a few minutes to several hours before resolving itself. While the symptoms fade away as blood flow is restored, the event should not be dismissed as inconsequential. Unlike a full stroke, which causes lasting damage to brain tissue, a mini-stroke leaves no permanent scars on the brain. However, it acts as an unmistakable warning sign, a loud and urgent alarm that something is wrong with your vascular health and that your brain is in danger. It's often referred to as a warning stroke for this very reason. For older adults, these episodes are particularly concerning. Statistics show that nearly 15% of individuals over the age of 65 will experience a TIA, with many not even realizing the gravity of what has happened. The temporary nature of a TIA can make it feel deceptively minor, but it is anything but. Having a TIA significantly increases the risk of experiencing a full stroke shortly, sometimes within days or weeks. For many, a mini-stroke is the only warning they will ever get, making it an incredibly important moment to act. The consequences of ignoring this warning can be devastating, turning what could have been a manageable health issue into a life-altering crisis. What makes TIAs even more alarming is the subtlety of their symptoms. A person might experience sudden weakness in one arm or leg, blurred vision, or slurred speech, but these symptoms often disappear before they fully register. Many people brush off the event, chalking it up to fatigue, stress, or aging, rather than seeing it for what it is, a critical sign that their brain is crying out for help. This dismissal is particularly dangerous for elderly individuals, as it can lead to missed opportunities for life-saving interventions. I've seen firsthand how devastating a full stroke can be, both for the individual and their family. The experience leaves not just physical but emotional scars, changing lives forever. When I think of mini-strokes, I think of how merciful they are in one sense, offering a chance to intervene and prevent further damage, but how cruel they can be if ignored, like a fire alarm going off but being silenced without investigating the source of the fire. For those of us who have elderly loved ones, or if we are advancing in years, understanding TIAs isn't just a matter of education, it's a matter of survival. Recognizing the symptoms, whether it's a fleeting numbness, momentary confusion, or a sudden loss of balance, can mean the difference between catching a potential stroke early and suffering irreversible consequences. It's not enough to hope the symptoms won't return. A TIA is like a bridge cracking under pressure. Even if it holds today, without repair, it could collapse tomorrow. What makes this all the more urgent is that there are effective treatments and preventative measures available. By seeking medical attention after a TIA, you can uncover underlying issues like high blood pressure, clogged arteries, or atrial fibrillation, conditions that, when addressed, can greatly reduce the risk of a stroke. Medications like blood thinners, and lifestyle changes such as adopting a healthier diet, quitting smoking, or regular exercise can help fortify the brain's network of highways and reduce the chances of another attack. This is why spreading awareness about TIAs is so important. Too often, people suffer in silence, unaware that these brief interruptions in blood flow are not just a warning, they're an opportunity to change the course of their future. For caregivers, the role becomes even more vital. Observing subtle changes in an elderly loved one's behavior, speech, or movement can help catch a TIA early. If we listen to our loved ones, take their concerns seriously, and act quickly, we can become their lifeline in moments of crisis. Life after 65 is a time to cherish, a time to enjoy the fruits of decades of hard work. But it's also a time when our bodies require greater care and vigilance. A mini-stroke may not leave visible scars, but it leaves behind a profound message. Take action now, because the next warning may come too late. By being proactive and informed, we can protect ourselves and those we love from the devastating impact of strokes, giving them not just more years of life but a better quality of life. 8 signs of mini-strokes in the elderly. 1. Sudden weakness or numbness. Sudden weakness or numbness is perhaps the most urgent and alarming signal of a mini-stroke. This warning sign often arrives without any prelude, striking one side of your body and targeting 3 critical areas: your face, arm, or leg. Imagine going about your day, feeling perfectly fine, only to suddenly notice that one side of your face feels heavy, almost as if gravity itself is pulling it down. You glance in the mirror and see that your mouth is slightly drooping, a sight that can fill you with confusion and fear. The sensation doesn't stop there. Your arm might suddenly become so heavy that even lifting a cup of coffee or holding a pen feels like an impossible task. The simplest motions, ones you take for granted, are now battles you can't win. For some, it may feel like their leg is betraying them, refusing to carry their weight as they stand or walk. This unsettling experience occurs because your brain's blood supply has been temporarily interrupted, a silent, dangerous thief stealing moments of control from your body. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Though these symptoms often vanish within minutes or an hour, they carry a weight of urgency that must not be underestimated. This isn't just your body playing tricks or reacting to overexertion. It's a cry for help. Unlike the gradual fatigue that follows a long day or the pins and needle sensation from awkward sleeping positions, the signs of a mini-stroke hit like a lightning bolt. Sudden, sharp, and focused on one side of your body. What's most haunting about a mini-stroke is the quiet warning it whispers, that this could be a precursor to something far worse, a full-blown stroke. The thought of ignoring these signs should send a chill down your spine. Time, in these moments, becomes your greatest ally. Seeking immediate medical care can mean the difference between returning to your daily life or facing irreversible damage. Take a moment to reflect on how miraculous it is that our bodies give us these signals. As terrifying as they may seem, they are opportunities, windows to act and protect ourselves before it's too late. To dismiss these symptoms or delay action is to gamble with your future. Every second counts, and your life, your memories, and your ability to embrace those you love depend on swift, decisive action. Never ignore these signs. They are your body's plea for attention, and listening could save your life. 2. Temporary vision changes. Temporary vision changes are not just a passing inconvenience. They are one of the most alarming and significant warning signs of a mini-stroke, medically known as a transient ischemic attack, TIA. These episodes, though brief, should be seen as a wake-up call, a reminder from your body that something potentially dangerous is occurring. The experience can be deeply unsettling, and for good reason. Your vision connects you to the world, and when it suddenly falters, it's a signal that you should never ignore. These visual disturbances can manifest in various ways, each one as disorienting as the last. For some, it starts with blurry vision, as though looking through a fogged-up window that refuses to clear no matter how hard you blink. Others report a strange, almost dreamlike state of double vision, where objects overlap and appear out of sync, making simple tasks like walking or reading feel impossible. Perhaps the most frightening symptom of all is temporary blindness in one eye, a sensation often described as if a heavy curtain has been pulled across your field of vision, plunging half the world into darkness. It's not only disorienting but can also evoke a deep sense of panic and helplessness. These changes occur because certain areas of your brain that are responsible for processing vision momentarily lose their blood supply. This temporary loss of blood flow interrupts the brain's ability to interpret the images your eyes are capturing, creating the sensation of visual disturbances. Although the symptoms may seem fleeting or minor, their cause is far from trivial. These episodes are your body's way of signaling that your brain's blood supply is being compromised, something that could escalate into a full-blown stroke if left unaddressed. Personally, the thought of experiencing such changes is terrifying. Vision is not just about seeing. It's how we navigate, interpret, and connect with the world around us. To suddenly lose that clarity, even for a moment, feels like losing control over a fundamental part of life. Imagine the frustration of not being able to read a loved one's face, drive safely, or even carry out daily activities without fear of recurrence. The emotional toll can be overwhelming, especially when paired with the anxiety of not knowing if or when it might happen again. It's easy to brush off symptoms that resolve quickly. After all, if your vision returns to normal, you might think there's no need for concern. But this could not be further from the truth. A mini-stroke is a serious medical event that serves as a precursor to a potentially life-altering or life-threatening stroke. Studies show that ignoring these warning signs increases the risk of a full stroke shortly. Acting swiftly can make all the difference, not just in preventing further damage but in potentially saving your life. If you or someone you know experiences sudden vision changes, don't hesitate. Seek medical attention immediately. Whether it's blurred vision, double vision, or temporary blindness, these are not normal occurrences and should never be dismissed as mere inconveniences. Consider this: your body is sending you a message, and ignoring it could lead to devastating consequences. A quick evaluation by a healthcare professional can help identify underlying issues and pave the way for preventive measures. In the end, taking care of your health is about valuing your future and the moments you have yet to experience. Temporary vision changes may seem small, but they are part of a much larger story that your body is trying to tell you. Don't let that story end in tragedy. Listen to the signs, seek help, and protect the gift of sight and life itself. After all, no warning is ever too small when it comes to your well-being. 3. Speech difficulties. Speech difficulties during a mini-stroke can feel like an alarming betrayal of your own body, stripping away one of the most fundamental and precious human abilities, communication. It's a moment that can feel disorienting and deeply isolating, as if your mind and mouth are no longer in sync. Picture trying to say something simple and urgent, like "I need help," but the words that come out are slurred, incomprehensible, or worse, nothing at all. You might hear yourself struggling to form sounds, only to realize they don't make sense. Or perhaps you understand what others are saying but cannot find the words to respond, as if your brain has momentarily lost the ability to translate thought into speech. This terrifying experience is rooted in a disruption to specific parts of the brain responsible for language and speech. During a mini-stroke or transient ischemic attack, TIA, The blood supply to these critical areas is temporarily blocked. This lack of oxygen causes the brain to malfunction, making it nearly impossible for you to control the muscles required for speaking clearly or even understanding others. What's even more unsettling is that this can happen without any warning, leaving you feeling vulnerable and powerless in the face of something that seems to come out of nowhere. While the symptoms might resolve within minutes or hours, they leave behind a lingering sense of unease. It's easy to dismiss the episode, especially if you feel better shortly afterward, but doing so can be a grave mistake. Speech difficulties are not just a random glitch. They are an urgent, flashing red light, your body's way of warning you that something is seriously wrong. A mini-stroke often serves as a precursor to a major stroke, which can result in permanent disability or even death if not addressed in time. Ignoring these signs could mean missing the chance to prevent a more catastrophic event. P finds the thought of losing the ability to communicate utterly devastating. Our voices are more than just tools for practical tasks. They're an essential part of how we connect with others, express our emotions, and navigate the world. Imagine being unable to call out for help in a moment of danger, or losing the ability to share your thoughts with loved ones. It's a reminder of how fragile life is and how much we take for granted the seemingly effortless act of speaking. The emotional toll of such an experience shouldn't be underestimated. The fear and helplessness that come with losing your voice, even temporarily, can linger long after the physical symptoms fade. It's a wake-up call that demands attention, not just from medical professionals but from ourselves. Every second counts when it comes to a mini-stroke, and seeking immediate medical care is not just advisable, it's critical. Time lost in hesitation could mean the difference between recovery and long-term damage. This is why it's so important to recognize the warning signs of a mini-stroke and to act quickly. Speech difficulties, no matter how brief, are never something to brush aside. They are a plea from your body, urging you to listen and take action. If you or someone you love experiences this symptom, don't wait for it to pass. Call for help, seek medical attention, and prioritize your health. Your ability to speak is more than a skill. It's a lifeline, a gift, and a testament to the delicate balance that keeps us alive and thriving. Protect it fiercely, and never ignore a moment when it's at risk. 4. Sudden confusion. Sudden confusion is one of the most alarming and disorienting experiences a person can face, far more unsettling than the occasional forgetfulness or senior moments that come with age. Imagine going about your day, perhaps enjoying the comfort of your home or walking in a familiar park, when, out of nowhere, your mind feels like it has been plunged into a dense fog. You struggle to form coherent thoughts, your sense of time and place seems to evaporate, and even the people or surroundings you've known for years suddenly feel unfamiliar, almost alien. It's a moment that shakes you to your core, filling you with fear and vulnerability. Unlike the slow, progressive memory changes often associated with aging, this confusion doesn't creep in over time. Instead, it strikes with the force and speed of a lightning bolt. One moment you feel fine, and the next, it's as if someone has flipped a switch in your brain, leaving you grappling with a profound sense of disconnection from reality. This abrupt onset is a red flag, your body's way of urgently signaling that something isn't right. Most often, such episodes are linked to mini-strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, or other circulation issues in the brain that disrupt its oxygen supply. What makes this experience so terrifying is the sudden loss of control. The brain, the very organ that houses your identity, your memories, and your ability to make sense of the world, suddenly feels like it's betraying you. For someone experiencing this, the fear is compounded by uncertainty. What is happening to me? Will I recover? And for those around them, the confusion is equally distressing to witness. A loved one who just moments ago seemed fine might now be struggling to recognize where they are or what's going on. This isn't just about a momentary lapse in memory. It's a flashing neon warning sign that demands immediate action. Episodes of sudden confusion often indicate a serious problem with blood flow to the brain, such as a blockage or clot that needs urgent medical attention. Left unchecked, These seemingly temporary episodes can escalate into something far more dangerous, like a full-blown stroke, which can leave lasting damage or even be fatal. I find it deeply troubling to think of how many people might overlook or downplay such symptoms, brushing them off as exhaustion, stress, or just getting older. This denial or delay in seeking help can have devastating consequences. Sudden confusion is not a minor inconvenience. It's your brain's way of crying out for help. Every minute counts, and the sooner medical intervention is sought, the greater the chances of reversing the underlying issue and preventing long-term harm. If you've ever witnessed someone experiencing this, you'll know how helpless and scared they can feel. Perhaps they're fumbling with words, unable to articulate what they're thinking, or maybe they're staring blankly, their eyes searching for a sense of clarity that just isn't there. In those moments, it's crucial to act swiftly. Call for emergency medical assistance immediately. Explain what you've observed, how suddenly it happened, and any other symptoms, like slurred speech, weakness, or vision changes, that might accompany the confusion. These details can be vital for healthcare providers to determine the cause and administer the right treatment. It's heartbreaking to think that for some, these episodes may go unnoticed or unreported, particularly if they live alone or are hesitant to burden others with their concerns. This highlights the importance of raising awareness about sudden confusion as a serious medical symptom. Everyone should understand that this isn't just a part of aging. It's a clear, urgent message from the body that something is wrong. The more we know, the better we can protect ourselves and our loved ones. In moments like these, I can't help but feel a deep sense of empathy for those who experience this frightening loss of mental clarity. It's a stark reminder of how fragile and precious our cognitive health is, and how vital it is to listen to the signals our body sends us. Life is too valuable to ignore these cries for help. If you or someone close to you encounters this sudden mental fog, don't hesitate, act immediately. It could make the difference between a moment of fear and a lifetime of regret. 5. Feeling dizzy or loss of balance. Sudden dizziness or an unexpected loss of balance is not just a fleeting inconvenience. It can be a terrifying experience that demands your full attention. Imagine standing confidently on solid ground, only to feel as though it has shifted beneath you, leaving you disoriented and vulnerable. It might feel like the room is spinning uncontrollably or as if you've been thrown onto a rocking boat, tossed around by waves that won't let you regain your footing. Every step becomes a challenge, and even standing still feels like an insurmountable task. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment below to let me know that you are still here with me. This unsettling symptom can be a crucial warning sign of a mini-stroke or transient ischemic attack, TIA, an event caused by a temporary disruption of blood flow to the brain. When a mini-stroke affects the regions of the brain responsible for balance and coordination, it wreaks havoc on the delicate systems that keep us upright and steady. Your brain, which usually orchestrates every movement seamlessly, suddenly falters, causing confusion and a profound sense of instability. You may feel as though your body is betraying you, leaving you helpless in a situation that feels entirely out of your control. It's important to understand the gravity of this symptom, even if it resolves quickly. Often, people are tempted to brush it off, telling themselves it's just a moment of lightheadedness or a temporary loss of balance. However, these episodes are your body's way of urgently signaling that something is amiss. A mini-stroke might not leave lasting damage at the moment, but it serves as a serious warning that a more severe stroke could be on the horizon if immediate action isn't taken. It's a stark reminder of how intricate and fragile the human body is, especially as we age or face certain health risks. From a personal perspective, experiencing sudden dizziness can be deeply alarming, both physically and emotionally. It's not just about the fear of falling or injuring yourself. It's also about the unsettling realization that your body isn't functioning as it should. In those moments, you may feel overwhelmed by fear and confusion, questioning what went wrong and whether you'll ever feel steady again. The thought of losing your independence or facing long-term health challenges can weigh heavily on your mind, adding an emotional layer to an already distressing experience. For some, this kind of warning sign can act as a wake-up call, pushing them to take their health more seriously. It's an opportunity to reflect on lifestyle habits, underlying conditions, and preventive care measures that may have been neglected. Others may feel paralyzed by the fear of what such symptoms could mean, reluctant to seek help out of worry that a diagnosis might confirm their worst fears. But ignoring these signs is a dangerous gamble that could have life-altering consequences. If you or someone you love experiences sudden dizziness or a loss of balance, don't dismiss it. Take the time to truly listen to your body. It's giving you a vital clue about your overall health. Seek medical attention immediately, even if the symptoms seem to disappear. Time is of the essence when dealing with potential mini-strokes, as early intervention can make all the difference in preventing a more severe event. This isn't just about responding to a symptom. It's about safeguarding your future, preserving your independence, and giving yourself the best possible chance to live a full, healthy life. 6. Severe headaches. Severe headaches tied to mini-strokes are not just a common nuisance or the occasional throb we might feel after a long day. They are an urgent, glaring red flag that your body is waving, signaling something potentially life-altering. These headaches are distinct, powerful, and unforgettable. Unlike the dull, lingering ache of a tension headache or even the blinding pain of a migraine, these headaches arrive with a sudden and excruciating force that many describe as the worst pain they've ever experienced. It's not just pain, it's a storm raging inside your head, sharp, relentless, and impossible to ignore. What makes these headaches so alarming isn't just their intensity but the way they arrive without warning. One moment you could be going about your day, and the next, this unbearable sensation strikes like a lightning bolt. It's not uncommon for people to feel as though their entire head is under attack, a pain so piercing that it can leave you gasping for air or unable to focus on anything else. For those who have experienced it, the memory of such a headache can linger for years, a haunting reminder of how fragile life can be. The danger lies in the fact that these headaches are often linked to mini-strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks, TIAs. A mini-stroke, despite its name, is no minor issue. It is a serious event that temporarily disrupts blood flow to the brain, serving as a warning sign for a potential full-blown stroke. When a severe headache like this is accompanied by other symptoms, such as sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body, difficulty speaking, dizziness, or vision problems, it must be treated as an immediate medical emergency. These symptoms, when combined, create a puzzle that could spell disaster if ignored. Time is crucial, and acting quickly could be the difference between recovery and long-term damage, or even death. On a personal level, experiencing a headache of this magnitude can be emotionally shattering. It's not just the pain that overwhelms you. It's the fear, the uncertainty, and the rapid-fire questions racing through your mind. Is this something serious? Am I having a stroke? What if I can't get help in time? These thoughts add a layer of panic that can feel almost as unbearable as the headache itself. It's a deeply isolating experience, especially if you're alone when it happens, and it can leave you questioning your resilience and mortality. For those around you, the situation can be equally distressing. A loved one witnessing someone in such pain might feel powerless, unsure of how to help or what steps to take. This is why awareness is critical, not just for those who might experience these headaches but for their family, friends, and caregivers as well. Recognizing the signs of a mini-stroke and knowing when to act can save lives. Severe headaches like these are not to be dismissed or downplayed. They are your body's way of sending an urgent message. Something is wrong, and it needs to be addressed immediately. Listening to your body, seeking medical attention, and refusing to brush off this kind of pain as just a headache can make all the difference. It's a matter of taking your health seriously, valuing your life, and understanding that acting promptly could prevent a tragedy. These headaches remind us of the fragility of life and the importance of vigilance when it comes to our health. They are a stark reminder that pain is never just pain. It is often a clue, a warning, or a sign of something deeper. When such a headache strikes, don't hesitate. Call for help, get to a doctor, and advocate for yourself. You have one life, and it's worth doing everything in your power to protect it. 7. Short loss of consciousness. Experiencing a brief loss of consciousness during a mini-stroke is one of the most frightening and disorienting events someone can go through. These episodes strike without warning, often in the most unexpected and mundane moments of daily life. Imagine standing at your kitchen sink, your hands submerged in warm, soapy water as you focus on cleaning the dishes. It's an ordinary moment, comforting in its simplicity, until, without any warning, everything fades. The edges of your vision blur, your thoughts vanish, and your body succumbs to a brief yet terrifying blackout. When consciousness returns, it's as if you've been jolted back into reality, but the world feels different. You might feel dizzy, confused, or shaken to your core. What just happened? You may ask yourself, your heart racing and your palms sweating as fear begins to creep in. These moments may be fleeting, sometimes lasting just a few seconds, but their impact is profound. The sudden realization that your body betrayed you, even for a moment, can leave you feeling vulnerable and unsure of what to do next. Many people, after such an episode, are tempted to shrug it off, convincing themselves it was nothing serious. Perhaps they attribute it to stress, dehydration, or overexertion. It's probably fine, they tell themselves. But deep down, there's an unsettling whisper of fear that something might be seriously wrong. These brief blackouts, often caused by a mini-stroke, are not random or inconsequential. They are urgent signals from your body that something needs immediate attention. Ignoring them is like ignoring a fire alarm blaring in your home, hoping the danger will somehow resolve itself. The reality is that these episodes are not isolated incidents. They are warning signs of an underlying issue. Mini-strokes, or transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, are often precursors to more severe strokes. They indicate that blood flow to the brain has been temporarily disrupted, and while symptoms may resolve quickly, the potential for a full-blown stroke remains high if left untreated. Acting quickly is critical, not just to address the immediate danger but to prevent lasting damage or future, potentially life-threatening events. The fear of seeking help can sometimes be overwhelming. Questions like, what if it's nothing? Or what if it's something I can't handle? May arise, but the risk of not addressing these episodes far outweighs the fear of facing them. Calling for medical help after a brief loss of consciousness isn't a sign of weakness or overreacting. It's an act of courage and self-care. It's a decision that could save your life or prevent debilitating complications down the road. Think about the people who love and depend on you. Your spouse, your children, your friends. They would want you to take this seriously, to prioritize your health and well-being. And you deserve that care for yourself too. Life is too precious to gamble with, especially when the warning signs are so clear. It's sobering to realize how fragile our sense of normalcy can be. An ordinary moment, like washing dishes or walking in the park, can turn into something terrifying in an instant. But these moments can also serve as powerful reminders. They urge us to slow down, listen to our bodies, and take every possible step to protect our health. Seeking help after such an episode isn't just about treating a symptom. It's about valuing your life and giving yourself the best chance at a healthy, fulfilling future. Never ignore the warning signs. A brief loss of consciousness might feel like a fleeting inconvenience, but it carries with it a heavy and urgent message. Take action now before it's too late. 8. Tingling sensations. Tingling sensations, often described as the unsettling feeling of pins and needles, can appear suddenly, catching you off guard and stirring a sense of discomfort or confusion. These sensations, however, are not always the harmless result of sitting awkwardly or putting too much pressure on a nerve during sleep. When tingling impacts larger areas, such as an entire arm or one side of the face, and appears without an obvious cause, it may be a serious warning sign of a mini-stroke or transient ischemic attack, TIA. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Unlike the fleeting tingles caused by poor posture or temporary pressure on a limb, The kind of tingling associated with a mini-stroke is deeper and more pervasive. It doesn't fade away with a quick shake of your arm or a change in position. Instead, it can persist and spread, making the affected areas feel oddly disconnected or even numb. Imagine waking up with your arm completely numb and tingling, only to realize that it's not just your arm, it's also creeping into one side of your face. That moment of realization can be terrifying, and rightly so. This type of tingling is not just inconvenient, it's a call to action, a signal that something much more dangerous may be unfolding within your body. What makes this symptom particularly frightening is its subtlety. Many people brush it off, attributing the sensation to something minor, like sleeping in an odd position or fatigue. But this misconception can be dangerous. A mini-stroke is a warning sign, a temporary disruption of blood flow to the brain, which if ignored, could escalate into a full-blown stroke. It's your body's way of saying, "Pay attention. I need help." One of the scariest aspects of mini-stroke-related tingling is how easily it can be dismissed. I can't help but feel a wave of sadness when I think of the people who ignore these symptoms, hoping they'll just go away on their own. Life gets busy, and we often tell ourselves, it's probably nothing. But how many lives are forever changed, or tragically cut short, because of this hesitation? How many families are left wishing their loved ones had sought help just a little sooner? Recognizing the seriousness of this symptom is crucial. Tingling that affects larger areas of the body, especially when accompanied by other signs like dizziness, confusion, or slurred speech, should never be taken lightly. It's not an exaggeration to say that this symptom could be your only warning before a life-altering or even life-ending event. A mini-stroke is a chance to seek medical attention before permanent damage is done. It's a window of opportunity that, tragically, too many people let close. Imagine the alternative, recognizing the tingling for what it truly is and taking immediate action. Picture calling for help, rushing to the hospital, and hearing the words, "We caught it in time." That moment could save your future, preserving your ability to live, love, and share moments with the people who matter most to you. This is why I urge you, plead with you, to take sudden and unexplained tingling sensations seriously. Don't let fear or doubt hold you back. The stakes are too high, and the cost of inaction is simply too great. Life is precious, fragile even, and every second counts when it comes to a possible mini-stroke. If you ever find yourself or a loved one experiencing this symptom, don't hesitate. Act with urgency. Call for medical help immediately and make sure the situation is thoroughly evaluated by a professional. It's always better to overreact than to miss the chance to protect your health and future. Tingling sensations may seem small, but they can carry an incredibly heavy message. Take care of yourself now before it's too late. Now that we've explored the seriousness of tingling sensations and their potential connection to mini-strokes, what have you learned from this discussion? Reflect on the importance of listening to your body and acting swiftly when something feels off. We'd love to hear from you. Comment below with one thing you've learned from this video and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. Your insights might even help someone else recognize the importance of these symptoms and take action when it matters most. If you found this video helpful, please leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more valuable insights on health, aging, and living your best life. Thank you for watching, and take care of yourselves and your loved ones.